All right, let's talk about this concept of success coming from course correction. So, I often hear people wanting to wait till they find the perfect plan, the perfect approach, all the stars are aligned for success. And what I think, the reason why I think that that happens is because we truly think at some point we'll have it all figured out. We'll have it all dialed in. We'll just be on almost like autopilot, right? And there is a certain degree of your habits becoming so repetitive that they feel more natural and have a more, positive flow to them, and they just happen without a whole lot of thought. But as you progress in your journey, you will constantly be course correcting. Course correcting means you had this one habit nailed down, like you didn't eat after a certain period, or you would leave the kitchen and you wouldn't go back for snacks, or maybe you were like weighing and measuring everything and you stopped picking at people's food or whatever. And then a couple months goes by, 6 months goes by, a year goes by, and you find yourself doing it again. But Heather, I know better. I know what I should be doing. I know I've practiced this habit so many times. In the past, it was so easy for me. Why am I not doing it now? You just need to course correct. Course correction, what I learned in the last 9 years of maintaining and losing, all course correction is identifying without judgment where it is that you're slipping a little bit, focusing in on that, and then making slight improvements. And never expecting it to change. See, that's where we get into trouble. We think at some point when our knowledge base is good enough, when we've practiced something several times, when we've done it in the past and we've been successful, we think it should just be a given. But it's not. Here's why. You're a human being living a human life, a human experience full of ups and downs, tragedies, celebrations, anxiety, stress, things that happen that are outside of your control. And so to think that at all points of every day, of every year, of the rest of your life, everything will be dialed in. When you look at it under that lens, of course you say, Heather, that makes no sense. Why in the world would I think that? But yet we do. How do I know we do? Because if I'm a fly on the wall and I hear, I know better. Why am I doing this? I used to be able to ... In the past, I totally could do ... If you're saying those phrases, what you're doing is you're not course correcting. You're upset because the boat is off kilter, but you're not wanting to do anything about the oar in the water. You're so angry. I'm going in the wrong direction. Put your hand on the rudder and bump it a little bit. Take some action, okay? Because I just 2 days ago, I course corrected. I threw 2 new habits on my goal sheet for the day on my personal journal in the forums. I added in that I was going to start tracking again to see where my protein was, because I wasn't feeling like my protein was where I wanted it to be. So I started doing that. And I started to do a check-in after every meal on my journal in the forums, saying whether or not I weighed and measured my food and not eating things that I didn't put on my plate. It was a thing that I saw myself slipping with. My boat was slightly off kilter. I pushed the rudder back. You are the captain of your ship. You've got to assess when things are broken, not working properly, not going in the right direction, and then you just course correct. But here's the cool thing. Once you really get this, like in the soul of your being get this, what will happen is maintenance and weight loss will be easier, because you'll never really expect yourself to be fixed. You'll never expect yourself to have it all figured out. You will stop feeling anger and resentment toward yourself when your boat goes a little off. You kind of know it's going to, right? So at no point in my journey have I expected myself to be perfect. I know I make mistakes. I know I'm human. I know I'm flawed. I know I'm going to need to course correct. I accept that. And I don't spend a lot of energy getting angry at Heather for not being the ultimate role model or having it all correct all the time. I say to myself, better to just be honest, better to course correct, so I can get myself where I need to be so I can better help you. So the gist of what I'm saying here is, the sooner you realize you're never going to have it all down, there's always going to be mistakes, there's always going to be issues, things that you think by now I should be doing nope, not going to happen. You're going to have to course correct, and that's okay. It frees you to be human. It frees you to make mistakes because you realize your goal is never to be perfect. Your goal is to constantly course correct. I hope this message helps you today. You guys have a great one, and I'll talk to you soon.